Polishing your car is one of the most rewarding processes in detailing, but it's also where things can get expensive and fast. Throughout polishing, your pads are most likely going to go from looking like this to something like this. And if you're not maintaining your pads, not only are you losing money, but you're also losing the quality of your finish. Today, we're gonna show you how to clean up those pads to make sure they last for dozens of details. Stick along with us while we cover that. All right, first let's talk about what types of pads there are. So you have foam pads, you have wool pads, and we have microfiber pads. Now, start with the foam pads. These are the easiest to clean, but there is, you'll have polish compounds and even clear coat or paint get wedged down into deep in these cells in the foam and ends up looking like this. But easier to clean. We could probably get this looking back to just about new. Next you have wool pads like this. And these are great. They cut super fast, so you typically need to use one of these and then chase it with like a foam pad or a microfiber pad. But these get gunked up pretty quickly and they end up looking, and they get kind of matted down. They'll end up looking like this. This one's been barely used, but if you start getting that compound build up into here, it just has all the wool stick together and the thing's practically a paperweight. And finally, we have the microfiber pads. This is essentially just like a microfiber mounted on a foam backing. What's great, it's kind of like a nice medium between the foam and the wool where it cuts really good, but it also finishes down nicely. But if you don't keep these things clean, they get matted down, they end up looking like this. And that's just causing a lot of excess heat on the paint. It's not polishing as it's intended to, and you get inconsistent polishing with a matted down pad like that. So starting off, let's go to the easiest to clean, the foam pads. If you're watching this video, chances are you're probably not in the middle of doing a detail, so your pads are probably already dirty. We'll tell you how to clean them in the middle of detailing because it's important that you clean these panel by panel or like every 2 panels to make sure that they're not gunking up. But if you've already finished detailing and you have a dirty pad sitting there, my favorite way to just start with it is to take a foam pad, take a little bit of all-purpose cleaner, and I'll just spray the all-purpose cleaner onto the pad and make sure it has like kind of good coverage. See how it's kind of like building up these like white spots? That's where it's soaking in. I'll go through and I'll spray down, make sure that's saturated, and then kind of just go through with your hands, knead it in. Typically I do this at like a sink at my house or at the shop or something like that. I'm gonna rub that in like that, and then I'll have a sink. This place we have a hose, and you just kind of rinse this out. And this is one of the quickest and easiest ways to clean it after the fact. Make sure it's really well rinsed. You don't want any of that all-purpose cleaner lingering in there. After that, I usually take them and I'll give them a little spin like this. And you can just put it on your polisher and spin it. You still have that. Put it on like its fastest setting. I don't know if you can get that vapor that just kind of flew off of here, but now this pad is pretty much, well, it's definitely clean and it's pretty much dry. But if you still want to just let that sit out, air dry somewhere, don't just stack these in a closed cabinet. That moisture obviously can kind of just build up the humidity in the cabinet. So I'll typically set this aside to let it dry. Now that spraying APC method works well for just about all the pads if it's like just not super dirty, just some buildup on the pad. But if you got one that's really caked and really matted, my favorite way to do that is to just let that soak in a bucket. This is just water with all-purpose cleaner in it. And this is one we put in earlier. Brett could probably show some B-roll. You can see it's already breaking down. A lot of those compounds and polishes are in here. Typically just put it in the bucket. I don't know if you can see this, Brett. And I'll just scrub that. And you see it's already coming back to life there. See, now I'm gonna grab a little brush just to make this a little bit easier. So we have a carpet upholstery brush here. Just help me get a little bit more friction on here. You can see it's just breaking that up a lot better. You see it's starting to come back to life. I like to do that underwater too, because it kind of, as you're brushing, can just instantly release that compound, polishes, things like that into the water. See, it's coming back to life. Slowly but surely, this one was seriously caked on and kind of left for dead, honestly. So I don't think this one was ever meant to be brought back to life, but we're gonna try. How do you know when it's cooked? And Brad, if you can kind of punch in here on the show. You want to inspect your work, as you can see how there's still polish build up right here. Can you see that, Brett? So there's still polish, like so out here there's no polish build up in there, those are clean fibers. But in there you can still see some of that polish. So I had to go back in there and scrub a little bit more of that out. Because if you leave that polish there, you might as well just have like a rock on the pad when you're polishing it. That'll leave marks all through the finish of your paint when you're trying to polish with it. So a little bit more scrubbing. Wish our air compressor wasn't down today, but I'm gonna just use a little bit of canned air here. Just kind of fluff up some of those fibers. So as you can see, this pad has definitely seen better days. It went from looking like something like this to something like that. And that's how you can start to tell, all right, the pad's just cooked, it's time to get a new one. It'll have gaps in the fibers where you can almost see right down to the backing pad in there. And honestly, it didn't even come perfectly clean, so I wouldn't even risk use this one on a vehicle. If you want to give another chance, you can try throwing these things in a washing machine and rinsing them up good. I don't typically like to do that because they kind of lose their stiffness to the pad. And I know you have a backing plate on the back of the polisher, but I just never been a huge fan of throwing them in a washing machine. How else you will know if the pad is cooked and it's time to get rid of it? If the foam starts breaking down like this one did in the back here, that's how you know this pad's it's past its useful life and it's time to just throw it away and get a new one. Which that's why these ones have been just left in a state of despair like this. So that just goes to show the importance of maintaining your pads and keeping them clean right after you wash them. Because if you wait too long, sometimes they're unrecoverable. Normally, 99% of the time you can bring them back, but there are certain times where it's just, what you have to do to clean it ends up breaking the pad down even more. So you're best off, even if you don't have time to clean your pads afterwards, just throw them in a bucket, keep them moist. Because once that compounds and polishes start to set up, it's so much harder to get them clean. So as far as cleaning pads after the fact of polishing, my preferred method, spray down with APC, scrub it, then soaking in a bucket is my second favorite way. Third way, if you have to, throw them in a laundry machine, like some kind of washer dryer. If you're gonna throw them in a washer dryer, make sure you're using a detergent that doesn't have any kind of dyes or scents or anything to it. Also make sure you're not using any fabric softeners and no heat. That's gonna give you your best chance of success on washing them in a washing machine. Now we're gonna show you how to clean pads while you're actually polishing the vehicle, so you can clean it panel by panel to make sure the pad isn't gumming up too much or it's not transferring things from one panel to another. So 3 ways to clean your pads while you're actually polishing the vehicle, and make sure you stick around to the last one because that is the fastest and most effective way, the preferred way amongst all professional detailers. So the first way, which I don't even actually have here in front of me because I don't use it that often, you've probably seen they'll have brushes that you can run, like for wool pads, it looks like it's like a little 90-degree angle with a bunch of metal blades on it. And people are running a wool pad and you would stick that on there and it kind of cleans those up really good. Don't use that on a foam pad, which I wish I had a visual. Brett, if you can pop up a picture of what I'm talking about here. If you use, it works great on a foam pad. A wool pad, if you use that on a foam pad, it chews them up really quickly. So I'm not a huge fan of those. Root Pads does make a little like nylon brush that you can use for foam pads. It is effective. It cleans off the excess compound on the pad, on the surface layer, but also chews up the pads pretty quickly. So I'm not a huge fan of using them, hence why we don't even have one here. The next way that we use, and again, I wish my air compressor wasn't down because it would be a lot more effective to show you it in action, but I would like to use like a Tornador or the Rag Company's blaster here. And if you haven't seen one of these, you hook up an air compressor and this metal piece in here spins around in a little circle, makes a little tornado of air. It makes a mess, but it does clean the pads effectively. So if you have a shop that's a clean room, or if you're doing wraps or PPF or something like that, probably not the most effective way because you're blowing polish everywhere. But I would just put this on the tool and run the tool at kind of like a low speed, and then just real fast with a Tornador. It just blows all the excess polish out of the pad. Now it does blow it all around the shop, so it's not the most effective way of doing it if you're doing details all the time. But when I'm in a pinch and I don't have my entire system set up, that's what I end up using. Now for the most effective way, most efficient way of cleaning. This is next level kind of stuff. A little bit of investment to do it, but there's no replacement for it. All right, so we have a dirty pad here. And if you haven't seen, I believe this is made by Lake Country. Yeah, it's called System 4000. This sucker's fun. and it just cleans so well. So essentially it's a bucket that you keep, let me pull this out. You put clean water and a little bit of their supplied microfiber pad cleaning solution in the bottom here. You could also just put water and all-purpose cleaner if you wanted. And it has separate basins. So the clean water goes in the bottom. Then this goes into here. There's a straw that goes all the way through and sucks the clean water. And then when you put the pad onto here and you'll press, and when I press, you'll see the water that shoots up. So it's rinsing the pad as you're going. So what I'll do is I'll typically give it a couple presses. Cleans the pad a little bit. And then you would just turn on. Make sure you keep it below the rim here. And I better. Make sure you keep it below the rim, and it'll spray out all the excess water, keeping it inside the bucket. And then all that dirty water ends up transferring down into this area. Well, now I just contaminated it, but you don't separate it while using it. But it keeps all the dirty water in this top basin because it seals off. All right, well, that was hilarious. After doing all that, I look at the pad and realize the pad's still dirty. Well, it helps if you actually put the solution in the bucket. Water alone won't just clean it. You're gonna need some kind of cleaner. So I'll just take our all-purpose cleaner here. Pour some of that in there. Pop this back on. Give it a couple swishes around to stir it up. Yeah, it definitely works a lot better when you actually have a solution in the bucket. And honestly, this pad, when you're doing it when the pad's freshly been polishing, obviously I'm not polishing a car right now, this pad's been dried. It comes off super easy and you can kind of see the polish spraying around inside here. So it's super satisfying, gets the pad nice and clean, and it makes you feel like you're just using like a brand new pad on every panel of the car. So I've never really found anything that's better than this. Keeps everything nice and contained, clean, and it's easy when you're done with it, you just dump out the bucket. So we don't sell them. If you want one, go to Lake Country or Google search for them, but they work great. It's my preferred way of cleaning pads. You might have noticed that none of these methods I used a pressure washer. I know it's a pretty popular way of doing it, and I've done it myself. It does get pads clean, but you'll notice it breaks down the pads so much faster. The backing pad will start to delaminate from the actual foam part of it. So it does get it clean, to get some clean in a hurry, but it's not worth degrading the pad that quickly. Now remember, keeping your pads clean isn't just about being tidy. It's to help you get a consistent and swirl-free finish every time you pull the trigger on that polisher. If you found this helpful, like the video and subscribe because we got plenty more videos coming like this. I'm gonna finish cleaning up the rest of these pads, but thankfully they're not as dirty as Skylar's headliner. Thanks for joining us, we'll see you in the next one. Did you enjoy that video? Well, guess what? We got more of them. There's probably one on your screen right now. Give it a click and check it out.